Constitution 2.0. The United States, like all democracies, is a nation of laws. And I'm not saying that laws or constitutions are going out of style anytime soon, but there's a kind of a new paradigm shift in terms of thinking over the last 10, 20, 30 years, perhaps 50 years, that's seeping into politics now also to make things more personalized and less uniform. So laws tend to be standardized, homogenized, just like in education, everybody takes the same standardized tests and the same curriculum, but that started to give way to client-centered, student-centered learning and customized approaches so that people can learn better based upon their skills. The same thing is happening with news, customized music. So someday in the future, it's not so strange to think that we might have customized government or customized politics. And what would that look like? So the advantages of customization are that, it meets better the needs of the constituents. Like if you think that everything is a marketplace, even government, then one form of government that better meets needs than another could be advantageous or naturally selected, perhaps. But, government is kind of a catch-all thing because can you have like many different governments within one that has a unifying structure and still is personalized in its approach? So obviously government is already somewhat personalized because we have, for example, judges and we have individual legislators that can do some of the personal touch. But I think one reason perhaps why people are losing touch with their government and their faith in the institutions is because not a lot is getting done. It's systemic. And part of the reason not a lot is getting done perhaps is because the needs of the individual and the systems by which to meet those needs may not be in congruence. And I think the fact that not a lot is getting done, a lot of people feel, is perhaps emblematic of that. So what would it look like perhaps if we had a government or any government, I don't just mean the United States, it could be local government, state government, United States or other country, that was more attentive or focused on individual human needs. One thing that comes to mind is the blockchain. The blockchain can really just do smart contracts and make them much more personalized. Perhaps if we had a government of smart contracts, then the individual would be much more represented rather than just having one law that applies to everybody kind of arbitrarily or uniformly. It could be more nuanced. Perhaps if we had an Internet of Things, there would be more communication between all the connections, and that could lead to more personalization that way also. Because when you have more information, you have the ability to do more personalization. Perhaps virtual reality will make more individualized experiences. Like it used to be that you just interacted with people in your neighborhood or your village, or back in prehistoric times in your cave. But now we have globalized society, globalized planet, and we're going to Mars and potentially other planets. So there's a lot more opportunity for intrinsic interest and self-selection. So now, like for example, on Facebook, you have Facebook groups. There's thousands and thousands, if not millions, of Facebook groups, and people self-select. That they want to be in this group or they want to be in that group. I mean, in democracy, you have that to a certain degree. I mean, you have Democrats, Republicans, Independents, and some of the smaller parties, but it's not that fragmented. It's more like everybody is more uniform again. And but think about it. Between Republicans, there's probably quite a bit of differences if you look at individual policies and proclivities in terms of what people are interested in. Same thing with Democrats, same thing with Independents. So eventually, I believe there's going to be a governmental structure. I don't know what form it's going to take, that's much more individualized for the citizens. And hopefully there's some uniformity also so that people feel like there's something in common. But I think just like how the internet disrupted every field, and now we're going to have the Internet of Things and blockchain and VR and artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence also has the ability to really learn from experience and become much more individualized that way. So I don't know if it's going to be sooner or later, probably later, because government is kind of the last bastion of kind of top-down representation. But eventually, I think just by market forces, there's going to be more of a call. Like if all the institutions like news has been democratized, like with blogs and with YouTube and with social media, if every other institution is kind of decentralized or personalized, and government is not, then it's going to kind of stick out like a sore thumb.